Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a quick little review of this 24-105 f4 lens. Now, as most of you know, the lens is probably as important, if not more important, than your camera body. And when I tell you this lens has not left my camera body in the 3 months that I've had it, I would be telling the truth, I guess. So let's just dive into all of the reasons that I have kind of fallen in love with this lens over the last few months. The first time I picked this lens up, I could immediately feel a better sense of build quality compared to some other Sony lenses. It's made of high quality materials, the same quality of materials that you get on some G Master lenses. So I know that it's gonna be extremely durable, and in super weird weather conditions where it's raining or snowing or something like that, I know that it's not gonna fail on me and it's still gonna be able to get the shot. Now let's move on to the focal length. This is probably one of the most versatile lenses that Sony offers. They do offer a few other kind of comparable lenses. They offer the 100-300, which is way more of a telephoto lens. They also offer the 24-240, which is probably a good comparison lens for this one. The problem with the 100-300 is, you know, you're starting at a focal range of 100, so it's great for telephoto photos, but the price range is also like $2,400 for a brand new one. And then you have the 24-240 over here. Now this lens is great, and when I first started photography, it was a fantastic lens. And I actually have a review on this lens if you do want to go check it out, because I liked it so much. But now that I'm getting more and more into photography and videography, and I do want some in-body stabilization on my images, this lens is the way to go. Yes, it's gonna be more expensive, but this is the better lens. And as far as focal range, 24-105 gets you so much. You can do street photography, you can shoot really good portraits. There are just so many creative things that you can do with this lens because it has such a wide focal range. I've seen some really good shots at 85mm, some really cool portraits and street photography at around that focal range. One thing I will say for sure is this will be the next lens I use for a wedding. Now, this allows me so much versatility at a wedding. I can get some really great artsy and kind of just creative shots, as well as just getting the standard, you know, cropped image of just two people, you know, bride and groom, just a very simple photo of just the two of them. So it allows me to be creative. It also allows me to, you know, kind of dial in and just make sure I'm getting the photos that I need, you know, the typical wedding photos. Another reason I was super interested in buying this lens and kind of getting to test it out and making sure that it was going to be a good fit for me was the in-body stabilization. Now this lens has optical steady shot on the side, and it allows you to just turn it off and on right there, which is super handy. But having optical stabilization in your images is a game changer. So even in those really weird low light situations, because of the stabilization, you're not going to get blurry images, which is huge. The image quality on this lens is also fantastic. It offers a super sharp image, and the f4 aperture allows you to shoot a variety of situations without worrying about your settings. And because of the rounded aperture blades, it allows a super natural bokeh look, where it's not like too contrasty from the subject to the foreground. Now obviously I've been talking a lot of good things about this lens, but there are some drawbacks to mention. First off, this lens is extremely heavy, and when you're at the fully extended focal range, all of its weight sits really far forward. Now I know we talked a lot about photography in this, but if you're using this lens on a gimbal, it makes it extremely hard to calibrate and to keep your gimbal calibrated. Additionally, when you are at 24mm, there is a fair amount of distortion around the edges of your image, just because it's such a wide focal range for this lens to handle. But obviously that's not something that you're going to be getting 100% of the time, and it does kind of depend on what aperture you're using and what situation you're in. Obviously, if you have a darker sides to your images, you're not going to really notice it as much. But honestly, I've only really noticed it at 24mm. Anywhere you know, in between 35 and 24 on the lens, it's pretty much gone. So just be aware of that. In conclusion, the Sony 24-105 is probably one of the better lenses on the market today. It allows for some really cool, versatile images, as well as kind of being a newer-ish lens because it has that in-body stabilization. So it, you know, it's kind of on the higher end of the spectrum when it comes to lenses, as it does cost around $1,200 to $1,300 just for the lens. But if you can afford that, or if you're in the market for a better, kind of more versatile, have a larger focal range kind of lens, then I think this is a great choice for you. It does great at photos. It also does great at videos. I have used it pretty much a lot for both. And I can say with confidence that this is actually probably one of my favorite lenses that I've used in a long time. It really stands out from some of the other lenses that I've used. This and the 16-35 are pretty much the only two lenses that I keep in my camera bag, and you know, I don't see this being replaced anytime soon, which is pretty crazy for me because I tend to be replacing lenses all the time, and the 16-35 has pretty much been my only constant. But yeah, this one is great. I'm hope that I get to keep using it for years to come and I don't have to replace it because god damn it, lenses are expensive. Anyways, that's gonna be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, maybe learned something a little bit. There is a link down in the description if you want to go purchase this from Amazon brand new. Don't feel like you have to. I always say, you know, it's better to buy used lenses anyway because you can find them a little bit cheaper. But if you do want to buy one brand new, clicking that link down below does support the channel. Amazon shoots me a little commission for it, and you know, it just helps me keep making videos like this. Any questions you guys have, I try to respond to all of them, and I will see you in the next video. All right, peace, bye.